What is up, you sexy devils? It's Wednesday and we're back for some Grand Prix World. I'm no longer sick, yay, but I'm also back at work, boo. So, a bit of a mixed bag. We are leading the championship, fairly convincingly so from a constructor standpoint, but from the driver standpoint it's pretty much a 3-horse race, and unfortunately 2 of those horses are ours. So it's all to play for on the driver front, but we're fairly sure, and I said that in a way that made it sound like I wasn't sure, we're fairly sure that we've got the constructors in the bag this season. Next season's probably a harder sell, but we'll do what we can do. This is an unusual episode in that I'd actually planned to show you all my other saves, because I've had some emails and comments and stuff from people. Some people think I play too conservatively, some people think I play too recklessly, if you can believe such a thing. So I've saved a bunch of my old games, and I have a Prost save that I've blitzed through really quickly, playing as conservatively as possible. And at that point I'm sat on Season 6, coming to the end of Season 6, with $33 million in the bank and not a single point to my name for that season. So it is possible to play incredibly conservatively. Right, without any more distractions, let's see what's what. Yeah, pole and the win for Fisichella. Another good day at the office for Deniz, which is always good to know. Ferrari have signed a works contract with themselves. Sauber have also signed, I think that's a works deal with Goodyear, so these deals are starting to fall into place. I don't know how this affects us apart from Danker betraying us and signing with Minardi. Fisichella also got the fastest lap. Anything else? No, nothing major. Okay, we've got 6 million in the bank. It's going to cost 6 million to upgrade the factory. I don't think we really want to be spending $1 million per Grand Prix just on that. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Sorry, another diversion. I like to keep myself on my toes. Always second guessing my own decisions, which means this as a how to play playthrough probably won't stand up too well a few years from now when people stumble across it. By the way, if you are stumbling across this in, let's say, 2018 or whatever, then I hope the future's bright. I hope no one voted for Trump, but you know, crazier things have happened. Okay, we have a technology upgrade, so we will upgrade that technology. And actually, before I do that, I will start another technology upgrade. Focusing still on the reliability, I want to carry as many points over as possible to next season, and reliability is more of a concern to us than outright performance. We'll move over to the CFD simulation for our new rear wing. We've got testing to do, as ever. I think that's probably enough testing there. Do we have control over that? No. Okay, so which tyre are we going to upgrade? I'm guessing it'll be the full wets. So let's make that happen. God, we're running out of stuff to research and develop here. Oh, we're gonna end up with way too many points for everything. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but I mean, we're not going to spend all of those points, I don't think. We'll use the Forschung that we've picked up, and we will grab ourselves a new compound of. Oh no, we will actually use those points. That's pleasing. There we go. So none of the tyres are outright perfect yet, but we're getting very close. That means, you know, we're able to have our drivers compete on a fairly even footing because the outright pace deficit between Fisichella and Deniz is offset a bit by Deniz saving himself a pit stop. It's all very clever, I think you'll agree. We've got no repairs to do. We do have a technology upgrade to bring, though. How many cars do we have for next year? 2. I will drop the cashola now on another one, and then we still need our R&D car. Now this brings us on to my main concern for next season, which is budget. We have a problem making friends, and I'm not sure what we're doing. Maybe we're not brushing our teeth enough. Maybe we're not throwing enough money at hospitality, but I doubt it. I mean, certainly in terms of catering. Right, PlayStation and Mercedes-Benz we're bringing along. That's because... oh, we've got some advantages to play at least. Tyre deal is already signed. Right, let's drop the TV advantage on Mercedes-Benz. Boom, dropping love bombs. We would like a better deal from PIAA. We can sign PlayStation, which makes me happy. MasterCard, I guess then we'll get the success. Or will they? Or will they? No, they won't. We're saving that success card and we're going to try and pick up Fiat. Do we have any others? A bit of a waver in my voice there because I've still got a cough. We have 2 slots available now we've signed PlayStation, so our main focus is getting the best deal we can out of PIAA because it's a 2-season deal, and getting some kind of guarantee out of Mercedes-Benz that we're going to get what we deserve from. That's only a 1-season deal. That's a pain in the balls because that means we have to renegotiate that. We've got to renegotiate for tyres next season and team, so we're back to square one really. Only fuel will carry over. Still no guarantee from them. 3 million is not a huge bank buster, but a guarantee of getting that sort of does add to our overall financial security, and it's still more than most sponsors pay us. 2.2 million we now get from PIAA. We want a guarantee of that. Hopefully Fiat offer a 2-season deal as well. We've got 1-season deals with everybody else, so we've got a lot of negotiation to do next season. That's never fun. Let's see if we can't get MasterCard to come to our party. And we'll bring Fiat as well. Okay, that's a bit smarter now. The general consensus for next season now is that while we can see what Red Bull are prepared to offer us, most people seem content to chase Playlife. I like that. I've always liked the Playlife cars when Benetton was carrying that branding. So yeah, why not? We'll see if we can land ourselves a Playlife deal. I mean, they're not a top-level team sponsor, so it's hard to know if it really represents a huge step forward in budget, but any step forward is a step forward. That's science. Right. Let's set up speed, downforce. I'm gonna set Fisichella like that, but Deniz, I'm gonna put a point on dust because that seems to be the way the engineers are pushing it. I'm gonna make this mistake every episode now. Sorry, we've had a break, so that's why I keep forgetting that the Evolution 8 engine is the latest. We have a new fuel spec, so we will be using that. We have a new soft compound tyre as well, which is pleasing to me. There is a new intermediate compound, but it's worse than the aero specific one. And there's a new hard compound, but that is also crap. Okay, so everything's where we want it. We've not discovered anything? No. Right. 25 degrees and very, very dry. That no longer concerns me the way that it used to. Although we have been out-qualified by Johnny Newhouse in the McLaren. He takes pole on the 142.023 ahead of Fisichella on a 142.148. Deniz just behind on a 142.197. Trulli and Coulthard in the Benettons take 4th and 5th, so they're sort of back on song a bit. Eddie Irvine takes 6th for Williams ahead of teammate Johnny Herbert. The Jordans of Wurz and Takagi take 8th and 9th, and the top 10 is rounded off by Mika Salo's Minardi. Okay, Marini in the Prost failed to qualify. He didn't actually set a lap time, so I'm guessing either he had a failure or couldn't get out of the pits or a crash on his outlap. We're missing a McLaren. No, we're not. It's down in 14th, so Luca Badoa has gone off the boil. Not that he ever was on the boil, for want of a better term. Strong wind, very dry. A temperature increase of 2 degrees for race day, so good to know that we've invested all that effort into making the engine very heat tolerant. Deniz will be on a 23-22 split. Hopefully the heat's not going to prove too problematic for those on a longer stint. It shouldn't, but then, you know, many things on paper shouldn't be things and then turn out to screw you anyway. Okay, I've got to stop doubting myself. I keep second guessing myself. Everything good? Everything good. Whoa. Well, that is not good. Pedro Deniz finishing 5th on a 123.02. That's 5 seconds down the road from Johnny Herbert's Williams. Eddie Irvine is 3rd in the other Williams on a 122.50. The top 2 steps of the podium go to David Coulthard's Benetton and Johnny Newhouse's McLaren. Wurz takes the last points paying position. What happened to Fisichella first of all? Engine failure. We weren't the only ones. Takagi's Jordan also had an engine failure. And Deniz was just slow. He was just slow. I'm guessing the tyre wasn't as competitive over a race distance as it seemed to be during qualifying. That's disappointing. We're now jointly leading the Drivers' Championship, though as I say, Johnny Newhouse is easily within striking distance of us at this point. But we're still way out in front in the Constructors' Championship, and I really don't see us losing it unless we fail to finish all the remaining races. Hopefully I'm not jinxed and that doesn't happen. Everyone is on the last season of their contract next season, so that's something for us to begin thinking about. We do this every time the drivers are up for renewal. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure most of us are happy with Fisichella. Deniz has been a bit up and down this season in a way that historically he hasn't been, but we're still getting the job done and he's still leading the Drivers' Championship. And it's 9.6 million that we would have to find elsewhere. I mean, I don't think it would cripple us. I don't think it would even necessarily have to be a big step backwards. We would just need to make sure we get a bigger team sponsor to sort of mop up the difference. Everyone else is signed, right? Yeah. So yeah, let me know what you think on the driver front. Do you want to give Carl Eisen a shot at the race drive? He's now 31 years old. He's 2 years older than Fisichella and he's never started a Grand Prix. Looking at the... Let's have a look at the unsigned drivers really quick. Moriera has been signed by Ferrari. So Gary Elliott is 34, 31, 30, 28. Dario Loretti brings 13.4 million, which is a hefty sum. He's 28, Italian, and never driven in a race. His stats are good for a beginner. Same as Eisen in points, but they're not equally distributed, of course. Hiroshi Tanaka, who's 29-year-old Japanese driver. Paul Johnson, 33, British. Panis is still retired. I'll never forgive you for that, Panis. We'll have a quick talk about who's available for 2004. Jarno Trulli, Michael Schumacher, Tora Takagi and Alexander Wurz, Ricardo Zonta, Luca Badoa if he doesn't sign somewhere else. Mika Salo and Jan Magnussen are both out of contract at Minardi. Shinji Nakano and John Fellows at Prost are both out of contract in 2004. Juan Pablo Montoya, Ricardo Rosset, Esteban Tuero and Damon Hill are the other options. And aside from Hill and Trulli, it's basically a who's who of who's nobody. However, I've said repeatedly I'm open to sort of developing a driver if necessary, so let me know what you think. Right, pressing onwards and hopefully upwards. Let's keep pressing on with new technology. Pretty important stuff. The automatic gears are taking forever. Literal forever. And we have repair work to do on our car. I'm going to not build that R&D chassis right now, actually. I'm going to invest heavily in spare parts, because you never know how bad that engine blowout for Fisichella was. It could be so much damage that we can't actually test with his car without repairing it first. So it's good to have the spare parts in position. Hungary's I think Hungary should be fairly kind to us. At least I hope so. I'd hate for us to go totally off the boil now, and not just because it's bad for the team, but because I have no explanation for it. And it would take a few rounds to sort of figure out where the problem lies, and we don't have a few rounds to figure that out. And the whole aim of this video series is to, you know, inform you guys and to sort of make a repository for Grand Prix World knowledge. That repository is completely effing useless if I can't populate it with knowledge. So don't make a fool out of me, game. Yeah, we'll run it same again. On the tyre front, we will upgrade the intermediate, I suppose. We're going to lose a point, but what can you do? Right. Ah, that's good. Our driver aid is now complete. We can at least homologate it. No, it's not approved. I'm going to move on to servo brakes and see if we can't break our duck there. It seems that for whatever reason we don't have the talent within the company to improve our automatic gear system beyond where it is now. And you can run into these walls, and it might be that next season when we've got more staff we can sort of move on to the next level. I was very surprised that we got level 3 automatic active suspension, but you know, I'm not going to complain about it now it's happened. It could be that we don't have the staff anymore to develop to a level 3 level any of these driver aids. Technology kind of moves on as the game progresses, so we should eventually get up to level 4, level 5, but I don't want to divert myself too much off course by ignoring it, but at the same time you also don't want to constantly pour resources at a problem that you're unable to solve. Tough call. Tough call. Right. Let's repair the cars, check the sponsor situation, and then I have to go do some university work. That's right, you heard me correctly, university work. distance studying, full-time job and a YouTube channel. I don't know how he does it, he must be a robot. That was you, by the way, not me. I was inferring that you'll be very impressed with my multi-talented capabilities. What are Fiat offering? Well, 2.2 million, we won't shirk that. Did we get a better deal out of Mercedes? Well, we didn't get a guarantee, but we did get the priorities in order, so that means we are their priority works partner, which is exactly what we want. We need to be the priority of our partners to make sure that any advantages we are afforded do not extend to rival teams. Is everyone still coming to the party? Yes, they are. That's exactly what I wanted to see. We've now surpassed the budget level for last year, but there's still room to grow. We need to sign those 2 remaining sponsors. I should put us somewhere around 45-46 million for the year. The more guarantees we get, the better, although we're running out of time for those now. And then the only way to take a step forward after that is not only to re-sign those high-paying sponsors, but to improve our team sponsorship deal. It'll be our first year with Mercedes. I don't know how well we're going to synergize with Mercedes, and how well, not just from a company-to-company kind of standpoint, but how well their power units will work with our car. We know that we do quite well with Peugeot, so it's always an option to go back to Peugeot. They have been a good partner to us, actually. I think Ferrari were reasonable, weren't we, with Ferrari for a season? It's already blurring into one. Ford we have not yet tried, and we did have a good season with Mugen Honda. They're not really an option for us now. We're a bit too big to accept a partner deal that we've got no direct control over. But I'm going to put extra downforce under Niz's car. Bit of an off-topic moment there. I'm going to do the same for Fisichella, actually. But my point was that should Mercedes not work out, it's not as though we're bereft of options. We basically only went to Mercedes because they offered an extra 400k, and they tend to produce the strongest engine at the season, entering the season. That means less time and money spent trying to build a perfect engine. We know we just have one much quicker than we've historically had one. Right, that should cover us for tyre compounds. Hopefully we get some use out of these wet and intermediate tyres. .32 degrees, very dry, strong wind. I said last time that it no longer bothers me when we encounter very high temperatures. I'm starting to regret saying that now, because as you recall, we did have a cooling problem with the Peugeot power units last season. So here's a theory that we're going to try out together. If I get an engine failure in the course of this race, then we need to start setting up our car better for dealing with high temperatures. I hope to be not proven wrong, but I hope to not be proven anything. I hope that both cars finish successfully, but you never know. Pedro Diniz takes third on a 1:17.830. That's a full 10th down on David Coulthard's Benetton. Our qualifying pace has really gone off. Johnny Newhouse takes the pole for McLaren. Our cars are split by Eddie Irvine's Williams. That's a season best for Williams in qualifying, with 4th for him. And Luca Badoa puts his McLaren 5th, sort of getting back up somewhere near his teammate rather than qualifying in 14th like a fool. Takagi out-qualifies Vogts, that's a surprise, convincingly so. Fisichella takes 6th, seems to be struggling. He's about half a second off the back of Diniz. I don't know if that's entirely explained by the difference in tyre compound. It could be that this track is a strength of Diniz, it could be that it's a weakness of Fisichella, it could be this heat problem coming into play, that the engines are down on power. I'm really hoping for a good result in the race. The good news is that the temperature has come down quite significantly from 32 degrees to 24, and conditions remain dry. A little bit more humidity and moisture in the air than we saw during qualifying. I don't know how that affects us yet either. I'm not going to jinx myself by saying I can't see us winning this race, but you can read between the lines. Something appears to be wrong, certainly from a qualifying standpoint. I mean, we've never been stellar qualifiers, but this is a bit much. 39.38 split for Deniz. Fresh boots for each stint, and that's all we can do. Well, back to winning ways for Pedro Deniz on a 1:46.04. That's 18 seconds clear of Johnny Newhouse's McLaren, so less than a pit stop. That tells me we would have finished second, arguably third, if Deniz had been on the soft compound tyre. Fisichella out of the race again. Engine failure. Yeah. We're suffering from a problem here. Both Prosts out to engine failure as well, and another failure for the Jordans. Yeah, I'm starting to think we need to be a little bit more sympathetic towards our engine. That can come via fuel formula. We can have a fuel that's got a higher engine tolerance. It can also come through setup. We're going to have to look at setting up our car to manage heat better and maybe stop putting points into speed setup. One moment, I need to choke to death. Okay, that puts Pedro Deniz 10 points clear at the top of the Drivers' Championship, which I don't think any of us saw as being likely even 2 rounds ago. Johnny Newhouse continues to gain on Fisichella. We're still convincingly clear in the Constructors' Championship. I'm a little less secure than I was at the start of this video. However, I think we're still moving in the right direction. Hopefully in Belgium we can take what we've learnt this episode and apply it to make sure that both cars finish. Your guess is as good as mine. With 3 rounds to run, who's going to win the Drivers' Championship? You can place your bets in the comments section below this video. Do you think it will be Deniz? Do you think Deniz's general consistency, which we tend to see more of that in the late season from him, to be honest. Do you think Deniz's general consistency is going to pay off, or do you think the outright speed of Fisichella will actually win the day? I mean, all it takes now is... I mean, if Fisichella wins the next 2 rounds, even if Deniz comes in the tops... Yeah, actually, it's mathematically... there's a lot of combinations here that could make it go one way or the other. It's the old point system, so you only get points for the top 6 positions. But yeah, this really is wide open, because although Deniz has a 10-point clear advantage in the Drivers' Championship, isn't a rock solid advantage. I mean, you can see that he's turned that round in one round. All it takes is for Fisichella to win and Deniz not to finish for them to be equal again on points. So anyway, that's the end of the video. I'm sorry if it's been a bit scatterbrained, a bit weird. I'm still getting over being sick, and I've got this big project on at work that's sucking up all my brain power, so I'm half asleep, and the sun is in my eyes. So there you go, lots of excuses for you. I hope you're having an awesome week. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on this video and what you think is going to happen in the final episode of the 2002 season. Your thoughts on the drivers as well. We've got drivers to negotiate for next season, and hopefully we can make some positive changes. You have a fantastic end to your week. I hope to speak to you tomorrow, but I can't make any guarantees. If not, I'll talk to you Friday. Catch you later.